Okay, we're coming back on live. Are we there? Okay, we have only a couple more minutes to play this. We'll have to cut it short when the market gets going, but we were rudely disconnected from being online just a moment ago, and I do apologize about that inconvenience.
AMC, my momentum trade, and I'm pretty sure that's only worth like 7.5 right now. But I also feel like I got screwed on that with that change. Even with this like $2,500 loss, boy, that doesn't even feel right. It just feels wrong. If you're upset as well, make sure to go to metkevin.com/life or check out the programs linked down below on building your wealth.
What a shameless self-promoter.
Coupon code to make sure you can build your wealth with stocks and psychology of money, real estate investing, making YouTube videos, sales, my momentum trade, 10, 15K, somewhere on there, into a few different companies. And I really want to wait for a red day, and then maybe I'll go heavier and make some bigger bets on some, like maybe like 50K or something, or 50, 75K or whatever. I was an option on something. I'm pissed. This was like...
Folks, right now is 9:29. We're 1 minute away from the market open. Yes, we did have an internet disruption. Unfortunately, that crap happens. It annoys the hell out of me. But we are a mobile operation, and we do operate on cell phone coverage, and sometimes that has problems. However, I do have a system to get around that where I do have multiple cell phone connections where they go into a single connection that gives it more robust ability. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to avoid that from happening. When one system goes out, maybe the other one can back it up. Right now we are market open, 400. So this is where we first go with it. You're looking at it on your screen. Welcome to the program. I am your HappyHealer Lover. This is Money Market Mantics, the brand of Moderna Excels. We are sticking right here at 400. It's getting ready to jump. Today's going to be a positive day, I think. Nonetheless, I'm going to try and get a couple of these right off the bat, right in here. I'm going to try and get a couple of these in if I can make some money on it. You know what I mean? I'm going to try and, because they're not too expensive at the moment. I can buy one, be a little bit assertive about it all, and then see if I can make a little profit on it. And then we'll come back here. Did we take it in our inventory? We did. There it is. And it's going up. We'll go ahead and add one more to that. We're going to be pretty bullish today a little bit. You heard my opening, right? Damn it. You heard my opening, right? That was a quick cover. Do you see that? Is this next one filled? Yes or no? Are we in there? Oh, it's working. Son of a beeswax. Cancel replace order. Because once it starts running too much, what we'll have to do is sell it. This is going to be a quick sell. We're going to get to the top of whatever the hell it is. Hopefully before it turns around. What is this thing doing? All right, market. Yeah, that's the way to go. Okay, so we're still together. I was making sure you didn't get thrown off. Okay, let's see what we got here. Back to positions. It's up 335. Right now, we are at 401.54, and that's a 275 lift here. So we're going to keep looking at this screen for a while. Things are moving fast. Man, I don't want to lose money on these. I just don't want to lose money on these. So was that our up, and now it's down from here? You know, I'm always asking these questions out loud because it's what I'm thinking. And damn it, I told you I want to get out of these quick. So let's put some effort into it. Let's see what we're doing. If we start dropping like that, we gotta go. We gots to go. Keeping an eye on it. Okay. Is it on some kind of curve? Is it going to come running back now? It's at 395. You could always get some better prices waiting a little bit, that's for sure. My goodness, this thing is on fire going down. Now we are losing money. Where does two jump to? There they are. Yeah, we are losing money on this sucker. Okay, we're going to go ahead and... Here it comes. Come on. I was fixing to buy one more down here low, but I'm a little bit concerned that it's just going to take a dive today. Maybe I'm wrong about this, just trying to be optimistic side. Like I said in the opening, anything can happen. Nah, we're down too much for me on this. I'm taking the first opportunity to get out of this sucker. Let's take a look at Moderna. Oh yeah, she took a fast drop. Yeah, let's get out of there. Come on. It's at 394 right now. I'm just telling you what my mind's thinking, guys. I'm still trying to hope for the best on this thing. But you know what? Oh, wait, hold. Because there are some bulls behind this thing pushing, I'm telling you. Either now's a good shot to get some calls that are going to rise, or we got to get geared up for some some bear action taking us over. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and sell that. My great fortune in this is that these things are raising in price here as we go. And so we'll see if I can get out of it I still took a hit, but I took a hit. I'm going to see what happens. So it looks like these, you know what? I'm going to immediately get into the other side. I think it's going the other way. So let's go with it. Let's see, let's try and get a discount. Now I look at it going up as being a discount. We just changed gears. So that's a discount right there. We're going to take it, and let's hope I'm right. I could be wrong. We could turn around and go back into a bull market again. This is really early to be picking anything up, so I double dare you to do this and don't do it. But it might work out. Oh, this is only sitting under the orders. No? Canceled. Let me see. Damn it. That's similar order. Make that a buy. Let's get it in there. And we got a better price anyway. Okay. Good. Okay, we got our puts. It's climbing. Ah! This is how you don't trade. This is why I typically wait for a pattern to emerge. I'm not doing anything with this sucker until it gets to at least 400, and then I guess I'll salvage it. And I'll take another about $700 loss. Right now, I think it's getting ready to come back down again. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy another one. Screw it. Yeah, we need to get this right thing open here. I'm feeling like it's going to pop down again. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like it's going to lose itself and it's going to pop down before it can come back up. It's up $7 on the day. That is a good thing for Moderna. It would have had to have dropped just to come down to where it closed yesterday. But it's bullish. It came out of the door not crashing right away. I immediately thought it would crash, so that totally took me for a spin. I thought it would go right above 400. Remember, I'm a natural bull, and to find the bear market in after 2 days like what we had is just to be completely open-minded and to look at what's happening. We're only 6 minutes in the market, by the way. Plus 2, I do have other pressing things I have going on today. So I'll be able to stick with this till about 10:30. Maybe I could push a little bit longer depending on what's going on. And so I figure I would be in it a little bit early as it is. And try and catch some of these early, positions, these early runs if I can get it right. And that's the hardest thing to do. And like yesterday, I didn't do that, if you remember. And that's the hardest thing to do, typically speaking. And most of the time, it's not worth the effort. If this thing's going to trade whoa, hold on. Back up. All right, let's get back in there. Granted, if this thing's going to trade exactly like that with the green like just totally floored out like that, I mean, what is the volume on this? The volume just crashed. It was like 1.86 million, and then it came all the way down to now it's like, right there, 164,000. I don't know that the volume's going to be able to keep the level up. Yeah, I'm going to buy another one of these calls. That's what's looking juicy to me right now. You know what? That's what's looking juicy to me right now. So I'm going to buy another one of these calls. Oh, shit, it's moving already. I got to buy another one of these. Did my thing stick? I think my thingy's stuck. My thingy stuck. Did it stick? Is that why I missed it? Anyways, I got 3 of these guys now. Okay, so we're at 387. That's $2 above. Being higher was a good thing today. It meant we can come down at least by the time we get to where it opened, 385. Then I would guess I would be positive on the day, because right now I'm actually negative on the day, being so aggressive coming out of the door like that with that ambition to be a bull, that natural bull that's coming out of me, that I want to see companies grow and people do well and everything do well. I want that spirit to show up. But the bull spirit showed up, yeah, and it was tiring, working itself out, and it was in its death throes, just like we seen yesterday. And gosh, I hate that word. Yeah, so it was in its it wasn't doing so well. And so seeing that I am a bull, I could tell when it's sick. And after I'm pushing like that, I got the sense, wait a second. I instead decided to be assertive in the moment, try and read the chart. There was nothing to read. It was just market opening. Within 6 minutes, it was already down. It was costing me money. I said, I'm getting the hell out of this. This is no place to be. And right now we're 457 up, and we are at 388.83. Like I said, the bulls are. I mean, they're going, but I think they'll settle back some more today. I think the buying pressure is there, selling pressure is there. Takes a lot of concentration. Takes a lot of dedication. It's up to 380. That would have been a better point to buy him. What's my buying power at now? You know, I'm going in pretty heavy with this, man. I hope this continues to stay the course. 381. That is a good price, though, however. Let me see the chart before I move. I feel like I know the chart, but I feel like it's coming up on the chart a little bit. It is. Not too much, but well, that looks like a good deal, actually. I don't think that's turning into some bull market. Hell no. Let's get back over here and take our good price. I'm pretty sure it's going to just end up being a good price. All right, what's a good price? That's why I say, well, geez Louise, I'm going to have to consider selling this one that's in the money. Keeps going up. Okay, no, it's coming down. It's going to come down. All right, where am I at? Put. Okay. So, I'll take one of these. I'll buy one of these now. I should have bought it already. Stupid me. I didn't. Did I do that right? I did it right. Finally, geez. Shocking. Did I do it right? No, that was the last one. Positions. What did I do wrong there? There's a lot going on today, boy. I have to clean this up. Oh geez, look at AMC. Come on, guys. AMC is really getting me, man. Try and clean this crap up a little bit. It's driving me nuts. I can't see what I got. So that's garbage. That's garbage. I mean, unless we get a shocker. We could, actually. I sold the other one to get the hell out of the way because it was too much to look at. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's kind of hovering at that 383, 382 range quite a bit there, isn't it? We're going to go ahead and sell this. I'm getting nervous. Those bulls do make me nervous, man. When they decide they're coming up, well, it's not that far, really. Once you look at the chart, you settle down. That's why you got to keep the chart nearby. But it is still kind of making some action there that I don't like to see. It's going to come back down. We got to get rid of this one at least. That's the thing that sucks when it starts coming up like that. All right, here it comes down. That was a damn good buy if you're buying a put and it starts coming down on itself. That was a good buy. I'll just take the come down. I'm not looking about buying or none of that shit. Just give me the come down. Unless it's cycling up. Out. I'm out. Not on that one. I think it's sitting on the working order, actually. Cancel replace. It's not going to be such a good day today. Wow. It's having a run, huh? That'll wipe you clean if it goes too far. The order book is kind of throwing him down a little bit. Yep. Oh, but it's jumping past too. There's a lot of pressure on the buy side. I'm out of this put. I got to go on that put. Ah, man. That didn't work out so well. I got out just in time. All right, what about these other ones? They're going to start losing some money too. They're down pretty good right now. Jeez, man. This is how last Friday we got screwed. Sometimes you got to give it back. I'm going to be a little bit more tolerant on these ones because they're basically kind of losing some worth at this point. And if it turns around now, maybe I can keep some profit on these. The other one I got out of with a little profit, so not so bad. If we can get a turnaround, it's holding right now because it's been lifting pretty heavy. Geez, let's get back in the game, my goodness. I don't like today so much. We're giving back some profit so far. And quite frankly, I don't want to give back any profit. Yeah, it's doing a climb up. I want to be on that. All right, so because we're bulls, it hurts. It's painful to be on the wrong one. We don't want to be on the wrong one. All right, here it goes. But I'll tell you what, after taking a hit like that, I sit out that's it for me then for a bit. Unless I can get the real feel for something, I got to take a break. All right, here it comes. Let's look at that volume. Let's see this thing a little bit better. This is really intense. Told you, watch out for those bulls, man. It's gonna come down. All right, let's zoom in and see what's happening here. I should have hung on to those three. We'll see how this turns out. Man, not a dull moment. Not a dull moment. Is that why we like doing options? Maybe so. Oh man, here it goes. It decided it wants to go up further. But it's going to get knocked down again. Now it's going to get beat up because you always got the same forces on the buy side. Here it comes. All right, I got to get back in after that bullshit, man. Maybe I'm going for double, triple loss, or I'm being smart. One or the other. For one or the other. For sure one or the other. It's got to be one or the other. There's no other two ways about it. It's one or the other. And I'm going down. I'm taking the downside. I think I made a mistake by getting rid of all those. I don't know if I have enough buying power to get this, but shaboom, I should have put it as a market order. Let's cancel and replace it, make it as a market order, and get it in. Yeah, maybe that'll help me get some of that back. There we go. There's the 390 put. So, yeah, that's it. It's coming down in my view. They gave way. They put up a scare, boy. And still it's not over. The war's in there. I just decided to get back in at that level. And so I'm a bear pretty much today because I'm spending up my money value, which means I won't be able to buy back in as a bull. And, excuse me, you know what I mean. In the meantime, so yeah, that's what this thing is doing. It's on a long, protruded, decision on what it's going to do here. And it might decide to go right on up again, which means I should have gone bullish with it, and I'm being hard-headed, but it feels like it's coming down. I'm being honest with myself. I'm not saying, oh, well, because I have calls sitting down there, it would be convenient to go down, so I would like it to go down. Therefore, will it please go down? No. You know that I felt the heat when I got rid of those big calls. You already know, because those things were profitable suckers. But you gotta take move. You gotta move, or you're gonna lose all your money in options. You gotta move. Just like now, I'm looking at this thing, it's got $120 profit. That's real money. And when it becomes red, that makes it much harder. And so, you got to look at that movement so carefully. And, today is really one of those days that's going to make you make tough decisions. Like a moment ago, I was thinking just sell for $120 because, like what's happening. So what will we see today? Possibly a few $1,000 loss, it looks like, unless we can get a hang of this. Let's see what this pressure down here is. I mean, once it gets over 400, this thing's gonna explode, I think. It did a lot of that stuff I was talking about in the opening. That's why I go over that stuff. And, I felt like a bull. You seen when I first came out. But that would have been, to be a bull and go through all this, that would have been a lot. For me, anyways, because I'll sell. I've learned over time that you lose your entire bankroll on one simple movement by not listening to the damn market. You got to listen to it. There's no two ways about it. And right now it's telling us that it's going up still. And it's an ugly up. It doesn't look like it's made itself. So really, it's coming on the 10 o'clock hour. Things are getting settled. I picture it coming down. And because I think my balance at this point is getting pretty eaten up here, I got enough to make a couple of more moves. But I don't think I'm gonna change anything just yet. In fact, to me, this is just another great purchasing point for a put. But again, I'm thinking out loud for me. I'm very aggressive, and it could end up being that. But I'm talking because there's multitudes of you out there. Some of you maybe didn't do something and you're making decisions. I'm telling you what it looks like to me. And, I'm still not convinced this is going to be a bullish ending just yet because, and by bullish ending, I don't mean the end of the day, just the end of this little battle we're having. I think it's going to be a bullish ending. And not a bullish, I think it's going to be a bearish ending. Whatever I said, bullish, it's bearish. I think it's going to be a bearish ending because it was settling into so much. Now the market is getting beyond its opening hours, and it's going to start feeling lethargic. And when that happens, that's why I think now might be a good time to get in as a put. Maybe I should. That would really be going all in for me, honestly, because this thing might be just coming down a little titty bit to go up another massive move, and then I don't know what it's building because I haven't quite seen, that glove it's making. It's making a glove. It looks like a mitten, like an oven mitten. I haven't quite seen that pattern before too much. To me, it just looks sloppy. And that it's coming down on itself right now. And it really, that's why I like the snake, because you learn from its movements. And when it starts leaning its head down, and it's more and more down as it moves, the head gets heavier. But then you'll see when the head it'll be heavy coming down, and then it'll start going like this. It'll give you little hints like this. Like, I want to change, it'll be coming down. But when it doesn't want to change, it's not doing that. But then when it wants to change, it'll start doing like this. And you got to look for that. Yep. I think now's a good time to get a put. I hope I'm right because I'm in on it. I don't think I'm going to buy more right now. But I think that this could be a bull's trap, and it was a bear's trap in a way, because it was a bear test and a bull trap, I think is what it'll become. And maybe it'll be the exact opposite. Maybe it looks like it's like on that 50-50 line at this point. It could end up being the exact opposite. A bull trap and a bear trap and a bullish run. There we go. It's going bearish. It's already got the track record of coming down. So maybe now I'll add one more. Yeah, it's getting lazy enough. I think it's safer. I'll go ahead and add one more. Which one was this? Hurry up and look. That was this. That's the wrong fucking one. All right, 390 here. This one. We'll go with this one. We'll buy one more of these. And hopefully I'm right. If this guy goes up, then, well, tough luck for me, huh? That's how it goes. That is exactly how it goes with options. Take a studious note and learn. That's how it goes with options. No two ways about it. All right, we're looking at this guy go down now, and you know what I want. I'm sorry, it's clear what I need. It's more of a necessity right now than it is a want. And, we put ourselves in those predicaments based on calculated, risk assessment. And this is all what options is. Options is like going to the casino, friends. That's what it is. And so don't ever let somebody tell you that this is investing. It's not. Investing, you could buy the stock. You could do a lot of different things. And this gives you a great deal. Like because it's interesting and it's fast movement. And now we got the head looking straight down and like this snake is diving, right? Now it's got to, whoop, I'm looking up for a second. What's going to happen? Oh, I got lazy again. It could do that, or it could start coming up again. So these are the things that we're watching out for. If it does come up, that's fine, as long as it starts beginning a pattern. What we like to see is that pattern. We want to see it come up a couple of dollars, come down $5. Up $2, down $5. Up $2, down $5. That's how you make money in options. Same thing if you're going up. If you're going up $2, right? No. Up $5 and then down $2, right? That's how it goes when it's going up. So it's looking back down again, it's just that snake is like, I stopped for a second. I want to see what's going on around here. I'll figure it out in just a moment. I'll let you know. The snake doesn't have to confer with you. It's just looking. Watch out, right? And when it looks for a little too long, then there it is. And yesterday what we were having is a lot of serrated edges. You ever see like a saw blade? That kind of hook? That's what they were looking like yesterday. Today it's looking like, like a rocky mountain. I really can't get a lot out of this, but I do understand the snake's movement, so I could say what it's looking at. I think anybody could see that, though, once you start getting used to how it moves, right? In that order book, the green means that the stock is going down. When you see that green firing up and moving around, that's good for bears. The red, when it's firing up and moving around, that's good for bulls. I know that sounds backwards, but there's a reason for that, because the way the price natural works, think about it. When you're a seller, you want to get the most for what you got. You don't want to sell it for less. Every time you think you can get a little more, you're trying to get that extra. So when you're getting your way, you're coming in and it looks like there's a lot of red there, but it's because, and there's these sellers. And for every buyer, there's a seller indeed. And it continues to pick up steam, and you see these massive red waves, and these sellers are getting what they want. People are buying up. And so since they're buying up, the stock raises. Do you understand? And then the same thing on the bottom, and that's exactly how you got to think about it. I give you easy terms to think and understand the stock and to gauge the stock. So now if you never understood level 2, maybe you have an easier way of understanding it, and you can go back and rewind and listen to this again. And now it's coming back down. Let's hope it stays. It did a little bit of boop boop, and then it's got to go bang bang down. Hopefully the stock could do whatever it wants. That's quite frankly the honest truth. So I got to look at this thing carefully here, because if it moves in such a way that I need to be aware it wants to pop like 5 like it's getting ready to now, it needs to just calm down. What we got to look at is when it starts getting down to that, I would say maybe 50,000 volume range, I'm getting worried. These bulls are already charged up. I'm getting worried when it gets down to the when it gets down to about 50,000 range. As a bear, I'm getting worried because now you're tightening up. This is the skeleton crew, and they're not gonna. They're bringing it to 650. That's where they want to go. And now you see all that red, all that lifting power. You see everything flashing, and then it lost its gumption. See, I feel what's going on. I'm not freaking out, right? I feel that, yes, it's going to get lethargic because it's overworking itself. It overheated. And you get to start seeing this and feeling the market. And when you get to feel the market, and by the way, as a happy healer lover, I do that with everything in life. I gauge people, but I put forces in account. Just like the force of gravity has a certain force to it, I do that with everything. I calculate a force for everything in life, even people, because it works. It really is very accurate in describing the world. And that's why I know so clearly what's happening when it comes to this greed that's destroying the world. All right, so now we're going ahead and going down. I'm not looking at the portfolio yet. We'll go back to that in a moment. But I'm not too concerned. Right now I'm fighting the battle and also helping you with your battle by giving you information. And so on the green side, they're sitting down there saying, I want to pay as little as possible. I want to pay as little as... No, I want to pay as little... You're paying... And so there's this war of people wanting to pay as little as possible. They're the buyers, right? And so every time somebody lowers their price to accommodate a buyer, the stock drops. So the green means drop, the red means rise. Remember that when it comes to these order book levels, and that's why. Cheers. I really have no idea what's going to happen today. You heard the morning monologue, and I had a lot more in set for you. I wanted to go over so much more with you, but there was no way that was going to happen. And then we had to fall off. My goodness, we had to fall off. I had to use this backup one from yesterday. Thank goodness it was sitting there. I can come on easy and quick. But we had a fall off. And that's no fun. All right, so we dropped pretty low here, right? Look at this. We got down to 377.86. And if we go ahead and pull back on everything that's going on, what you really see is the line begins here and it's coming down. What happened here was morning market bizarreness. So there's no indication that this has anything to do with what's going on here. It might in the end, but there's no indication at this point. This is an anomaly. And if you're able to capitalize on that anomaly, like I should have, hopefully, usually I'm quick at taking profit because of that. It failed me today. I didn't move quite quick enough on that. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the, when it comes to the market, I've taken enough hits, made enough progress back and forth to already know that, it's just like you're walking in a casino for one thing. Because anything can happen. But beyond that, and I say from the beginning, you have better odds than a casino. So it's not really like walking in a casino. But it's very important that the money aspect of it, you can lose big money fast. Because, these options, they're not cheap. You're literally controlling 100 blocks of the share of Moderna. It's trading at $386. Let's put that into perspective. It went to $387 before, now it's at to $386 again. All right, so now look at this. If we're talking about $387 times that by 100 shares, you're controlling $38,000 of Moderna stock for the $800 or $900 you're paying for it. That's essentially the deal that you're making. And so let's see, it's giving if you were to consider this the bear top coming down at 396, right now it's giving you a buy-in. But this is the weirdest looking chart come together. I really am not, enjoying the way it looks. Again, it's starting to kind of building like a saw a little bit, I guess. It's working so far, I suppose. I'm not complaining. I just want to see some distinct movements that makes it more clear. We're in that 1009. That's why I came on a little bit earlier today. I had to let fate. Remember I said I let fate and signs and sometimes guide my actions. That's done well for me, just listening to the energies. And today the plan was to come out charging. I did. I went with the bulls. It was wrong. I got out of it. And I got out of it pretty quickly too. But it was still, I could have gotten out of it quickly too, but I didn't get out of it quickly. I took a loss on it. That's the truth, actually. But the other part of this is that, it's 10:10. So we're talking another 20 more minutes. Depending on what this market does, I'll stick around a little bit longer. But we're going to have to try and, make our moves. Or at least cut out and come back on later. That's always an option. It's not something I like to do. I like to stay steady, straight on. And this is a good buy-in, by the way. This thing looks like it's making a saw blades here. So perhaps that's what it's doing. So I think this is a good buy-in for puts. But anyways, what'll happen is, and it happens sometimes. Remember, this show means a lot to me. I enjoy doing this. I'm doing this kind of stuff anyway on my own. As it is, I've ran shows on basically a lot of different things, a lot of different passions. Look at this now. Look at these bulls pushing this thing up. And they're doing it with very little, they're at 34,000. I said, watch out when they get to 50,000. But we're still running a little bit higher. I think it's getting, we'll see. It hasn't pumped over that last peak yet. If it pumps over that peak, then I get scared. Because that's a real sign. That means a lot. In my experience, that means a lot. And if you ignore that, hoping for different, the pain tends to start adding up. And so, I look at that crest. Sometimes I have a little bit more tolerance if I see other shaky things. Now I like what I see, a peak forming, that peak is lower than the previous peak, that the valley was lower than the previous valley. That is a good spot, actually, perhaps, based on what we're seeing, to buy as a put, although things can change. It's a snake, and it thinks on its own. It's kind of, remember, it only goes in a direction that it feels compelled to go in. And when it's going in that direction, when it's looking down, watch out, because it's compelled to go that way. And the same is true when it's looking up. But when it's not moving looking up, it's just like this, then that isn't necessarily progress. All that might be is just standing on tippy toes kind of thing. And then it looks back down again. It really tests your patience. It tests your fortitude. It tests, and it looks like if it peaks right there, it'll still technically be lower than the previous peak. But we're talking about a market that looks like it might be going sideways even. I don't like that. I want to see it drop some more. Right now, we're positive on the day. We're $5.82 positive on the day. And that actually helps in the market sentiment for bulls. Although it doesn't make a difference if the stock is ultimately, gonna lean and go down. And now we have a U. We're looking at a U here. Unbelievable. Now it needs to come down from that U if it wanted to go and draw a U. So, but that I will do a little comparison here. The previous peak, by the way, is higher, and right now this stock is lower. So, is all I can say. Just so. Why is it just so? Because it's not moving with affirmative action. It's moving with hesitation. And that's why. It's doing what I would expect it to do, but with a lot of hesitation. Let's check this volume. It's getting closer and closer to that 50th mark. So we're going to watch for these bulls taking over. Now, what drives this sell, it's literally sell volume. Now it's coming up on the volume. Now, it's literally sell. You know this is short selling that's driving this down. This would not be going down if it wasn't for short selling. That right there that's an easy fact to see. Now we can officially say it's still got a hold, but that the valley next from the previous valley, while not being that much lower, is a tad bit lower. We'll take what we can get. And it's not official yet. If it turned around right now, it might actually be a tad above. And it moves with hesitation like that. But what we want to see it do is get charged in a downward direction with our particular, when I say our, I do mean mine, particular positions. I use that language so that it helps you see what's happening, feel it, and learn from it. Because this is a better way to learn options than trying to like, oh, but then you got 100 shares and you got this, and if you, let's take it like this. A real estate man buys a house. Oh, geez, here we go. You know what I mean? It's just, let's do it together. Watch me. If this is your first time coming in here for options and you're actually trying to buy options, you're not supposed to copy me directly. But if you buy options and you're actually buying them and you're, before you learned anything, my goodness, why are you doing that? Hold your horses, cowboy, cowgirl. We got some lessons to go through first. And, that's really what I would feel. That's my sentiment to you if you're new here. We're going to pull back on this. This is by no means a strong bear sign, but it is a downward trajectory. We're looking at that latest snake move. How far will it go up? It should be a lazy one. It shouldn't go up but half the way at this point if the bears are in charge. And it should peak around a half of that. And then it should fall over itself and start coming down. And if it doesn't do that, anything but that, and you know the bulls are putting extra pressure on. If it does anything but that, that's how you read the market. That's how you read it with the snake. And so we're inching ever so slowly down. And it could change a moment's notice because this is small movements. And right now it's barely staying on it. Now, we're talking millimeters. I mean, this thing is so close. And if you look down here, what do you see? Massive buying pressure. Massive selling pressure. And so that's really what's pushing it. Is it going to stay going like that? I just don't know. I think a lot of people, because this is, charged down so fast, are thinking about it in terms of how they can make profit on it now that it's charged, down. Maybe it'll go up some. But, that kind of thinking, you got to clear your mind and look at the market, really. Because that kind of thinking could work, essentially. Because, yes, it is true. At some point, it does need to come back. But it needs to play just one element in the factor. It doesn't need to take more weight than just one element of 500 elements. So I wouldn't give it all the weight, but because you when things are on a particular run, there's a certain momentum that runs in the market with it, and you just can't account for those things without assuming it's going to continue in the same direction that it's going to change direction when it's got all that momentum, and you have to assume it's going to continue in the same direction. Right now I see a sideways market, nothing for anyone to panic about, no matter what position you're in. This is not anything to read off and say bears got it. I don't think it's to say bulls got it. I think we are in some purgatory territory. Purgatory is a good word. And so if you are in this market with me today, I wish you good luck. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Not for me. I don't know for you. And my account's taking a beating today. And it's just the way it is. Sometimes, it's down $2,000 right now. And I'm hoping to gain on this market, not lose. I want it to come down. I want to make money. And so, that if that becomes another $1,000, then I lost my profit from yesterday. And that's not what I'm here to do. But at the same point, there it goes up $1. That means I lost profit. Let's see if when it moves, sometimes it charges. But when it's just $1 in Moderna, it's just a tiny look like that, We'll see what happens. And there that it made that little hook and came up from it, that's a bullish thing. If it was the exact other shape, it would be a bearish thing. Still, we're still in this purgatory mode. For bulls to take over, they have to charge it up at this point. And it might happen. If it does, as soon as that thing starts charging, I'll be selling. And guess what else? It could be the kind of thing that gets right up to the edge and then comes back and crashing down. Or it could take it all the way to the moon. And that if you didn't sell, you lost everything. Every bet that you had put on this thing is like, when it's an option like this, it can go all the way to zero. So it's like putting them as hostage until you get your way on the market and then taking back your collection of that which you won along with your original money. Now, if you put and extend that too far and you say, oh, I'll go to 500 because I know it's coming down, and then it goes to 510, well, I'll wait. I know it's coming down. Now, it needs to drop 30 points just for you to be back to where you were before. I bet you if at that moment you could have chose to sell when you seen the chart change and instead read the chart, then my goodness, imagine all those times that it ran away on you. And I know it ran away because I've done them long enough to know the difference between reading the chart and not reading the chart. And that's a losing proposition. Sure, sometimes you're right and you were stern and you were stubborn and you were right. And you got it and you made it and you made the biggest one. But over the long run, that's going to murder your account. Because one day you're going to get caught. You're going to double down where you don't belong doubling down. And it's going to take you for a ride. And it's going to trick you on the way. It's going to make you think you're winning at times. That's how it does. That's options. And so when you're learning them, it's important to remember that and know that you're at war here. When you're doing an option, I can't imagine doing weekly options, these that expire this week in a volatile stock like Moderna during open hours, that you're not peering your eyes to the stock market. That's where your eyes belong. If you're in the market on this, that's where your eyes belong. You can get, if it becomes like a sideways market, right? You can put alerts on your account. So if it breaks out, you can move at that moment if you're doing something else. But quite essentially, that might be hard to do at sometimes, and you can miss out on a sale, you can miss out on a buy. So, the best time to get in these is to always keep your phone or device with you and keep aware of what's happening and willing to move in the moment. How far is it going to go up? Because if this thing charges, now it's acting like it wants to go up, it didn't even go down yet. So, those are the kinds of things we're looking at. This is like some ugly man's teeth. That's what we're looking at. It says almost nothing. But I do think it's still, I don't think it's got the energy to pull it up yet. I say yet because it's a possibility, right? Look at this. That's about as even as those order books get. And they don't always tell you the truth, because sometimes they do opposite things when things are really charged. You just can't, when things are really charged, things are happening too quick to get a good gauge on what the book is saying. Does that stuff help, guys? Look at that, huh? Still coming like that. It doesn't make sense. It's coming down a little bit, but look how low. Whenever it goes super low, like it runs completely out, that means, that it actually goes down sometimes. Or that's the more powerful one, because it just disappeared. For some reason, that there's nobody to buy or sell, and there's all these sellers, and there's no buyers, and oh shit, here the price comes down. Do you see what's happening? It's like an avalanche over itself. Sometimes that creates a sudden fall down too, but other times, if you get enough buyers to then come into the market and meet those sellers, then it could drive it up. So these are various plays that are going on. And if you're aware of them, what's happening when you look at the book and you see the changes, you see, oh, there are charges. Look at that. That's all sellers. And they didn't just look. I told you how powerful it was being pinned down, and then finally when it came up, it went straight up. And that's like a very bearish. Very bearish. Granted, it doesn't always move the price quick, because this is what's happening in the moment. When you're reading the book, there's a lot coming at you. And sometimes it looks bullish, sometimes it looks bearish. Which one does it look more of to you? They have programs that can analyze that, and then based on the answer, then it can give and shoot out what's the best one. People start making very good market decisions, right? And so there's ways to, get better using technology even. There's a option alpha, I forget what they call it, but I haven't tried it. I couldn't possibly recommend anything to you, but there's AI using AI abilities to do this kind of stuff, to be profitable on options. And it's not that even they could do every one of them correctly, right? It's just that they'll get more correct than they get wrong. A lot, possibly for them a lot more, like maybe 90% more. But I don't know if there's any that's at that level now. I assure you, if they dug into it deep enough, there's a lot to read there. I assure you of that. Let's go to comments here. Just making sure we're still live. Sometimes we lose some people. I don't know if we're live or not, and then I have to check, so we are. Okay, all's well. Let me know if it's sticking at all, okay, Jason? Tell me if it's sticking. And be careful in the market today, Jason. It's a dangerous market. Everybody, be careful in the market. I should be telling myself that. Okay, so, and here's the other thing. The longer we wait, we're getting bled out on our time value. So now watch, we're going to go back, and my thing's probably going to be close to 3 now. I may as well just go ahead and accept the loss and get out of this market if it's going to be crazy like that, right? But no, we're going to hang on. We're going to just hang on. And hopefully it does its thing right for us, because we're being brave and we're being good boys and girls. Right now it should fire back a little bit. It takes a second to react. Yeah, see, I mean, the prices start swinging up before the option contracts. The option market operates on the side of, next to, beside of, but separate of, but having connections to by way of these contracts, but on the side of, if you can picture. So these options contracts, as they are, let's see this price. I want to make sure I'm paying attention to that. 393.49 is quite sudden compared to what I was hoping for. Let's look at the chart, because I know it was going up to like some concerning levels, but it didn't actually break through. And right now what I suspect it's doing is trading a little bit sideways. And if that's what's happening, end up, sideways and up, and a little bit up sometimes like now. But that's hardly a bullish, we're going up to the moon. Nah, don't buy that. But it could be. No more than a bull. No more than a bear. Right now, it is just like I said, purgatory. And it is purgatory because we're losing value on our options the longer it takes to work itself out. It's almost like we're betting against each other. Who wins? We don't know until it determines what the market says is who wins. And then when that's determined, everybody starts acting. In the meantime, before that happens, everybody's waiting. What's happened when you're waiting? Well, when you're waiting, you're losing juice. And down here actually is, so far our bottom is 388. That's not exactly a super bearish thing we've been seeing. I mean, what started out to be a bearish move has turned into an ugly teeth mark and almost right back to where it was headed at its highs. So, stupid me for selling my calls. And yeah, I mean, if this is the way the market's going to go, I'll look at my balance. I'm probably pretty much out of today. Well, I got 1,000 available to go that I can use. I'm down to a $3,000 loss. That's about as far as I want to go. And this thing looks like it's firing up. So to be honest with you guys, I mean, I'm not sure I have a tolerance for a bigger loss. I'm glad it's coming down because I don't have a tolerance for a bigger loss than that. And I'm going to have to get out of this thing. And that's how it goes. Yesterday we were up 3, today we're down 3, you know. What can you say? The market is the market. And so, you know, but wait now, because it gives you, sometimes it takes and then sometimes it gives. So if it pulls back enough, because my limit really is when I start seeing this thing charging up past 395, I'm thinking I made a grave error by selling my calls. As a bull, I'm watching other bulls make the way happen, and I'm not even part of the charge, and I'm losing, and I have to sell as a loser with a $3,000 loss and accept my shame. And that's it for the day. I don't even have but 1,000 left to try and make a charge. And you know, that's the way I look at it with the balance, because when you're trying to make forward momentum, you end up making sometimes you go backwards. And you know, and that's the thing, you gotta kind of keep an eye on what's going on there. So we're gaining a little bit back only because we're not at 95. The difference between being at 92, 90, and 95 is quite a bit right now. It's about $300 or $400. So, you know, depending on where it is. So it's at that, you know, for the loss. And I'm just staying consciously aware of that. I mean, everything can change if this at any moment. That's why I'm hanging on, because at any moment, and even though the time now is at 10:32, at any moment this thing could drop, or it could just keep us in a sustained market like this literally all day long. And that's what the stock market is, folks. Welcome to it. It doesn't work on your time. It doesn't have your priorities. So you have a choice. You could either sell out of a position, hold it, or go do what you're going to do and come back. You know, keeping it close with you on you at the time. Those are the options you have, and it looks like it's coming down. I'm in a much healthier place right there than I was a moment ago. I'll tell you what. Yeah, much healthier. I just want to see the balance for a moment. Okay, so it's getting back to the 2,000 range, right? So what we made, and if you're just getting here, I want you to realize there's gold on this video. You should go back and look it from the very beginning, follow through. There is gold on this video. Don't miss it. Okay, so it's testing itself, coming back up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't, like, you know, charge all the way up and make it like a sideways day. It took a good drop. Let's just try and pick up on that. That was the fight. That was the main fight right there. It's got a valley, a peak, a valley, and let's get these peaks and valleys going, and we'll be in there. And then we can turn it around, and today could be a better day. You know, and I'm not a baby about it. If bulls take it to this moon, I'm just going to get out of it, kick my own $1,000 into it, and ride it as much as I can with them, and root the whole way. But I decided today, based on what I know, my market knowledge, the things I was explaining this morning, and so much more that I couldn't even get out, and then looking at the movement and making an educated choice, this is where I took it. And that's what I allow guide me, folks. educated choices. I'm a smart guy. I understand a lot that's going on. That's still not enough to beat the market some of the times. And you got to see for yourself, because, we can all experience. Like when it came down just now, I have every reason to believe it'll continue to come down with that same pattern, because that's a common pattern. That's one we know what it's doing there. And so it's looking more bearish. And I think what's going to happen is it's probably peaking no more than 392, and then it might pull at 393. Doubtful. It's already coming down. It didn't even make it to 392. Maybe it might think about it a few times though, and then it'll come back down on itself, and things will look well, for your happy healer lover, better. And I hope for you too. And if you do shares and you don't get into the market like this, doing options, studying what's going on and what kinds of things are moving the market, what kinds of pressures are out there, what kinds of forces are in act. And that's why I read Meaty McCready, this guy. I mean, you know Meaty McCready, right? Meet Kevin. He's on the outside a pretty nice guy, very gentlemanlike. That wasn't always Kevin. There was a smart aleck Kevin that came before him who used to like to prank people, like Grant Cardone running in his place with costumes on and everything else. A big clown, really. And you see the clown side come out of him every now and again. And you got to kind of remind him, we know you're a clown. And the guy, he just got lucky, really. COVID came and killed, almost 1 million Americans. And, this guy, he got popular off of COVID. That's what happened. He started getting on there, like Don LaPree. I can get you one classified ad if you get, and he ended up being put in prison, and, he killed himself. But with, and I don't like what it's doing now. Just come down and be done. We don't want no extra mountain there. We just want you to come down. There you go. There you go. Lower than the last valley, please. Yep, and the market will always make you work for every ounce you make. If you know the chart and you trust in it, and I don't know how you could picture this that well. I tried to picture this and get a feel on reading that snake with the, using the candles. You get information there, and you even have historical information, but it doesn't tell you as much. It tells you more in one way, it tells you less in another way, and less in the way that matters most to me. I want a quick glimpse of the average place of where this thing's been. I want to know where it's going to, so I want to know where it's been. And at the same time, I want that trace clearly defined so I could see the patterns. That's why. Oh, wow, Florida is a hot mess, man. Look at this thing. It's still sitting in purgatory range, It looks like, hopefully if we can get that to be and again, we're pushing here for peanuts. If we can get that to be a lower peak. We're really pushing peanuts right now. I might have lost the bulls. I hope I didn't lose you guys. You got to be a little more neutral. It'll be better for you, I promise. That's up to you, though, of course. In life, be neutral. Be willing to hear people out. You'll never know what you learn. You'll never know what you didn't know. You'll never know what you discover. And when you discover it, it changes everything. That's exactly what happy healers do. That's what I do. I don't lock any information out. I take it in. I'm grateful to get it. You could look up if you want, but don't you dare go up. Oy. Why you got it? This guy, he just won't stay in his cage. Makes me wish I got rid of it back then. And I think my tolerance level's becoming less on this thing. It really is. As a bull, I wouldn't be happy, to be honest with you. That's a little bit more than a. We'll see if that energy dissipates. Where are we at with our? Oh wow, we're coming off of. See how once we come down like that to that core value, then they start running it up every time. Now it's gonna run up in it, and now more and more and more and more. There becomes like a FOMO. Is that a turnaround? I don't even want to look at my profile. Well, that could be a turnaround. It went above my tolerance level, but the further you get down that road, the time level, a lot of things take you into a little bit of a deeper area, and still yet, it's just. It could collapse still, actually. And if it does make a confident charge, because a few times the bulls made the confident charge and then they collapsed back to the line. So I'm looking closely to see what happens at $400. If this thing goes above 400, it looks like it's going to actually. Where's 400 on here? Oh yeah, it's gonna fly right past that if it gets up there. And then that's why right at 400, there it comes down. If right at 400, if it were to get up to 400 and I decide, okay, I'm out of this thing, then that can happen. All right, let's see this chart at the top here. So it's beating it down, but that could just be some price action for a buy-in for a bull. Yeah. Sadly enough, man, this thing could turn around still. These bulls are gonna call me nuts. I mean, the bears are gonna call me nuts if I get out of this. I gotta read what you guys are thinking. This is a crazy market right now. That's why you sometimes sit out of it and you don't get into it in the first place. You're not supposed to be a hurry in the market. That's the lesson I'm teaching today. Okay. So Techno says mRNA #1 retail buying, 1 share institutions getting, puts selling, shorting. Of course they're shorting. They're short selling big time on this. I seen that earlier. Okay, well, bulls, are you going to bring it really up today? Is that what's going to happen? Or is this just a fake out? I don't really think the 400 means a lot. Psychologically, it does. All right, I'm getting into my calls here, and I'm going to start getting rid of them. I need it to come below 400. Where are my puts? Oh, here's my most expensive one. Well, let's deal with that one first. That's no fun, man. That's not how you win money on the market. Yeah, we're probably going to sustain a $5,000 loss today, which means for the week we'll still be up, but for today that sucks. And that's it. That's just what being in the market is, when you're that's what being in options, trading options at this level, that's what it is. At this level. This level is, everyone, you know, we didn't even get into that a lot, but it's obvious. Your level is what you can afford to lose, what you can afford to put into play. Now, when you see me making, I'm recycling money into the market. When you see me putting money into the market and then I make a sell, I don't get to use that sell money again. It gets put away and it goes to tomorrow, right? So now I just have whatever my balance was, that's my cash roll through. And when I run out of that money, then it needs to refresh the next day. And it's only going to be there what was the value of that which I sold. And so if the value of that which I sold continues to go down, 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 then ultimately speaking, that which is there for tomorrow's trades will be less, 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 less. And so I'm really concerned about that effect. I don't want to give up a loser. I did already throw out one put real quick, which was smart if you think about it. I bet you a lot of people question that, but that was a smart move. If you want to count a smart move for me today, that would probably be among them. A dumb move was being in a hurry, and I am in a hurry. I got to get going. But I'm normally not in that situation, but today I am. The other thing is that I hold it out. I read what you guys say here. Maybe I get convinced, yeah, by 5 o'clock, by 4 o'clock today, this thing's going to be running at 350. Who knows? And can that happen? Oh, geez, come on. You know that can happen. This is Moderna. And then it can run all the way up to 650. That's how Moderna does. So out of the middle of nowhere, this thing could break me right now. That's it. On being on Moderna, that's a complete possibility. It could just, if you're sitting there with a number of, like I have, 6 contract puts, and they're no cheap ones, and they just run massively up out of value, well, there's not much you can do about that. The market got you. You can hold off and hope it comes back, and that's sort of where it's in now. I think the bulls have proven themselves to be pretty strong. They're just being doubted by bears who are stubborn like me. I'm being a stubborn guy right now. Normally I sell out of it much quicker, but this time, you know what? I'll tell you why. Yesterday, after I sold out at 387, the market ran down to about 372 for a moment, right? I could have sold it for that. I felt, and I took a big loss on that to do that, even though for the day I was up $3,000. But, this is how it works, and it's really what's going on with Coinbase. I'll show you that. I'll tell you what, we'll do that tomorrow. And, now I'm waiting for another hook, because just because it flew up doesn't mean it's going to stay up. I remember many times that it goes up like that, only to lose itself and come back down again. And so that's all I'm here for. That's all I'm waiting for. And so I'm just trying to keep sense on if that happens and how can I best, minimize any further damage if it does do that, and that I'm hoping for it to come down. And that right now, it didn't technically meet this line. See this line right here that was working it up? That line's up here. It didn't meet that line. I can't see what it's doing. It's just being wacky. It's the bull's pissed. I'm telling you. Remember when I said they get in death rows? They're throwing everything around. That's part of what this is. Just like that come down was really showing an exhaustion. But they're not gone and out. Come tomorrow, I hope what happens is that this thing flies all the way to 650 tomorrow. And that would be great because we can get cheap contracts, much cheaper than today, and we can get real progress made. Let's see what's happening with things over here. It should have gotten a little bit better. You know what? And that's it. Time also kills you in these things. So it is coming down more. We'll see if it wants to, that's not a typical pattern that the market makes that particular come up and down like it's making the Empire State Building. Now, we don't want to see that spike come up higher than the last spike. I preferred that it came down a little bit further, but we'll see. You know, when it's moving barely spike by spike, that takes a lot of time to process. Which means I'm ending this cast in exactly 5 minutes. You got me for 5 more minutes. We'll end it at 10:55. I'll take care of the things I got to do, and I'll come back on live with you. Yep, so now it's trading the sideways thing again. You know, it looks like, It almost looks like the ground with a hole in it, doesn't it? Like with one spike coming down and now the ground's picking up and going over again. It's kind of coming up. No, we don't want to see that. You know, those options I think are going to trade generally kind of like in that weird price range where it's kind of at, where it loses value, then sometimes it gains value. And so, you know, you got to kind of look at that, because let's say the volatility picks up, but it stays within this price range, you know, then you also gain value for that. The more it moves in volatility, that it comes down and it makes its full stretch, and it comes up and it makes its full stretch. All of that is volatility, and it creates extra value on those options. Holding out on this thing could make me a bigger loser today, or it could help me turn today around. Being a loser is so easy on the market when things go negative. That's why you got to sell out quick. Today, I guess I just got, sometimes this happens where you hang on just a little bit longer hoping for the best and it doesn't work out. And those are your bigger loss days. But the thing about it is then it does work out and you're out of the play. That happens where all you had to do is stay in, but then you got out and a moment later, everything was settled. Everything came back the way it needed to be. It made you whole again. Not just made you whole again, but also, you know, processed a nice victory for you. And it's not something that I'm, at this point, sure will happen. I was more confident when we were at this level right here, that we were forming a little pattern. What I was really looking for is, and I told you this spike has really not much to do with what's going on today. And you know, I should have processed that to be what it really was when I said it, and sold in here my puts. Or, you know, I bought most of my puts here when it was coming down, because I got in early today, if you remember, something I don't normally do. And now you see the effects of it. It's not really that wise. And after a bigger loss, I always get more conservative. Now it's kind of topping up off of the peak from here. This peak that it managed to get, now it's picking up from that with a very strong buy pattern. Yeah, this market's not working out for the bears. I think I'm just going to accept my losses on this. I'm just going to take my losses and go home with what I got. I'm going to take my losses. I think that's the right decision to make. The sooner the better. And it could turn around still. I paused to drop below 405. You know, anything can happen still. This thing could drop another 10 points right now and totally change everything around. We got 1 minute and I'm out, and I'll have to do this on my own, whatever I'm doing, and I'll come back in later on and we'll fill in and catch up and all that good stuff. And I wish you luck in that time. I wish us all to have a great day. I'm going to have a great day no matter what. That's just up to me and God. That's the plan there. And, I'm trying to reach a certain goal, actually. That's why I'm in a bit heavy. And, I've got Happy Force 1 that I've got to get fixed up and get on the road so that I could do the work I got to do for that. I feel like that's really important for, the campaign in the future. And also, I'm living a life of service. I want to go around the country and help people and be involved with people. And really the only place to do that is, just like I had planned when I sold my home. My last bus burned up, so now I'm in a crunch to try and get another, my next bus built out. And so that's what I'm doing. And I told you guys that. Maybe some of you didn't hear or didn't know. But I told you that to start with, that my goal here is quite simple. My goal is to, get my bus going. This is a very sloppy chart for a bull. That's all I'm going to say. That chart that is emerging, unless it was missing something. Oh, it was missing something. No, it's not. That's kind of a sloppy chart, to be honest. That's not like, oh, I'm bullish running to the sky. That looks like it's getting ready to turn into another saw blade where it starts coming over itself and then down. Damn it. And that's how you get stuck in. These patterns will sometimes keep you in. That was remember when I said, when you see affirmative actions that the market makes, that's an indication it's growing strength. But there it goes. You want to see that curve. If it's not giving you that curve, then you're not making progress. In fact, I would enjoy just to see it fold over itself and then come down some. You already know I'm getting beat up, so sometimes you're on the opposite side of the market. We could still be friends and be grown-ups about it all. And you could accept your wins and losses all the same. I could do the same thing. And that makes our friendship better. We are having pretty thick volume. That never helps the bears. So if the volume settles down, it'll probably start picking up again. And then the selling pressure will come and try and keep it down. So the selling pressure is going to keep coming. That's what we're noticing. All this volume, that's not Moderna's natural volume. Those are all sell orders trying to keep it down. And some of you bought some puts that are making some money right now. Nobody could blame you to cash them in. Nobody could blame you to cash them in. Imagine a moment ago when things were looking a little bit like, so like I said, nobody can blame you to cash them in. That's completely acceptable, and nobody can blame you. Folks, I stuck around a little bit longer just as a surprise, but we're going to have to go ahead and cut this down. It does look like it's not going to even come over its other peak. That's not really that strong for bears. It's but yet the slightest hope. And I'm still here rather than having sold. You'll have to find out when I come back what I did. We'll all find out. Probably by then we'll know what the market did. And you'll really wonder what I did, huh? Oh, man, I hope it doesn't go sideways, though, because then we can really start adding up these losses, and that's not really comfortable to me. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. God bless you. I love you. I wish you the best in your life. Let's continue to look at this market in smart ways and complete ways, benefit where we can, and be humble and be measured and just, be smart about it. Try to win together. And today is, like I said, the bulls are doing okay, but they're not breaking through in a way that's like it can't come back down either. So in other words, today everybody can make a little money. If you're smart, I think bulls can sell right now, and then the bears will be the ones that get to sell next. That's if it works out like how it often does, and that could totally be the way it works out. And so as a bull right now, you might want to consider if you're in profit. That I'm saying, like, if I was, that's what I would do. Because last week when the market did this, or maybe it was just a couple days ago, it all starts blending together. It comes up like that. Well, the other time it did it the other way. It came down. Oh, Friday when we lost all that money. This is the exact same thing. Friday when we lost all that money, it came down. We were bulls. We sold our calls when it was down, and we bought puts. And then it came up, right? Those calls would have had value, but they were all gone for big losses. The bears also lost because they held on when it came back up. So we missed our calls, they missed their puts, and that is the exact opposite of what I would like to see for today. Today I would like to see the bulls cash out up here, and then I'd like to see it go down, and then the bears cash out, and then we can get to tomorrow intact. Okay, we'll see you soon. God bless you.